We're going to look at two different financial situations, and we're going to try to decide if these two situations are an example of a person being financially responsible or financially irresponsible. So let's take a look at situation number one. Katerina had $100 in cash to spend on a $55 ink cartridge. When Katerina got to the office supply store, she noticed a sale on ink cartridges, one for $55 or two for 70, so she purchased two for $70. So is this a financially responsible decision or a financially irresponsible decision? So in this case, we would classify this as being financially responsible. And there are two reasons why we would say this is a financially responsible decision. Reason number one is that she saved money on the second cartridge. Normally, she spends $55 per ink cartridge, but if she can get two for $70, how much did she actually pay for the second cartridge? Well, if we do 70 minus 55, we get $15. She paid $15 for that second cartridge. This means she saved $40. She got that second cartridge $40 cheaper than she otherwise would have. And she knows, and she buys cartridges, that she's going to need a second ink cartridge at some point. So she might as well get it cheaper while she can. Now, the second reason we would consider this a financially responsible choice is that it says she has $100 in, okay? She spent cash, which means she does not owe money. She spent cash, so she won't owe money on the purchase. And that is also financially responsible. Spending cash means, like, as opposed to using a credit card, for example, if she used a credit card, then she might end up having to make payments for these ink cartridges, and that would not be a financially responsible decision. You do not want to make credit card payments for printer ink. That is not financially responsible. Okay, let's look at our second situation. Melissa is renting an apartment for $850 a month. In August, she had $2,100 in her checking account. She used her credit card to pay rent and spent $1,800 from her savings on a second flat screen television. Well, obviously, this is financially irresponsible. And again, it's financially irresponsible for two reasons. The biggest reason is that she paid a necessary expense for rent with a credit card. She had enough money to pay her rent. She had $2,100 in her checking account. She could have just paid her rent. So she paid rent with a credit card. She paid a necessary expense with a credit card. Now, sometimes you have to pay a necessary expense with a credit card because there's no other way for you to buy it. But she had the money. She had it in her checking account. So she may have to pay interest. Making interest payments for rent when you could have just paid for it out of your checking account is financially irresponsible. Now, the second reason, as you probably have guessed, that is financially irresponsible is because a second flat screen television, a second TV, is not a necessity. She said, I really want this TV, so let me just put rent on my credit card so I can get this TV that I really want. But a financially responsible decision would be to take care of your necessities first, and then if you have money left over, you can buy your things that aren't necessities. but she would not have had enough money left over after paying her rent. So this is a financially irresponsible decision. Pay cash for your necessities first if you can. And then if you don't have enough money left over for your non necessities, you do not buy them. That's how you stay financially responsible.